The rental crisis is forcing Aussies into dodgy properties. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Grab your stein of coffee, let's have a look at this Yahoo Finance article about hazardous property flaws that Australians are taking. And frankly, I'm not surprised. I mean, we've put up with a lot of crap in our rental that we're renting out now for convenience and because it's cheap. Now, let's have a look. I wonder if anything... Well, no, I mean, there was a hazard on the property we've rented. I didn't realize that the son of the neighbor, and the neighbor used to be a hoarder, and a new family have bought up the house, they've gutted it, extended it, you wouldn't know, but it was a hoarder property. There was stuff everywhere, and it had spilled into underneath this house where we rented. And years later, after the woman had died and the whole previous house has pretty much been demoed, there was still stuff underneath this neighbouring property up until the floor. It's a raised house on stumps. There's still stuff under there. And we told the landlord, that's a fire hazard, all this crap under there. So they had to get someone in to come and get it. So, I mean, that's a serious hazard. I wonder what hazards they're talking about here. But let's see. With rent prices skyrocketing around the country, tenants are being forced to look past potentially dangerous property flaws in order to secure a rental. Now, I hope these are real flaws, not first world problems. Like, oh, my air conditioning. Nearly 3 in 5 Aussie renters have excused an issue with a property for fear of missing out on a place to live in, according to new Finder research. About 21% of the 1,110 people surveyed said they made compromises on the size of the property they required. That's not a fatal flaw, you know. That's a luxury, having more space than you need. And this is, I'm talking from someone who has 6 children in a bedroom. So mind you, it's a bigger room, but we get the bunks in there. Oh, okay. 14% tolerate a lack of amenities such as air conditioning or a laundry. Well, is that because there's a laundry outside or a place where you can put your washing machine? I mean, I've had to do that in Queenslanders, where the laundry was under the house. And I remember I hit my head enough on the bloody bearers under it, I refused to do it ever again, to do the washing. Worryingly, so these are all just, yeah, okay, that's size, that's a luxury. Air conditioning is a luxury. I don't care what you say, guys, it's a luxury. Humanity's lived without air conditioning, okay? A laundry, okay, yeah, I mean, UK, they don't have laundries. They have the washing machines in the kitchens. So, yeah, but you need at least a space to plug it in. Worryingly, 1 in 10, it sounds like they're just going to old houses. Worryingly, 1 in 10 Aussies say that accepted a mold issue in a bid to secure a roof over their heads. Well, it depends. If it's just some surface mold that you can clean off and get rid of because the house was too enclosed, okay. This is the concern with a lot of the changes where they want to make these houses as sealed in bloody boxes for air conditioning, and you get water buildup. And mold is dangerous. Mold is very dangerous. But, you know, we'll go get at it with some mold remover, see if you can get rid of it. Find a home loan expert. Richard Whitten said it was scary to see the number of renters living in below par conditions. Tenants are having to lower their standards and accept some really unpleasant living situations, Whitten said. I remember I rented, when I was a student, I was renting a room in a really run-down, shitty Queenslander in just near Milton or Toowong, past Milton, between Milton and Toowong in Brisbane here. A friend from uni, it was his place. And this is the, stoner dude. It was what was really funny is he'd get high and he'd just play Civilization and just chill, but then he'd get the munchies. And the nearest convenience place to get food was like some posh French patisserie where you're paying $5 for like a tiny little cupcake. And he'd spend a fortune on all these shitty little cupcakes and things and be hoeing into them. I mean, good on him. He was having fun. But that was funny. He probably spent more on his cupcakes than his other vice. So, but I think I was paying $50 a week to rent there, and all I had was a inflatable mattress on the floor. Thousands are stuck in rentals, which would be considered hazardous purely because there aren't enough properties available to rent in the area. A further 9% refrained from asking for repairs when they noticed damage. This wasn't on the property's entry condition report. While 6% said they put up with unpleasant smells on the property. Well, maybe you need to find out what's causing that smell. It could be a rat somewhere or a rodent that's gotten in somewhere, and get rid of it. Okay, I'll take out the rubbish. Or open the windows. So the rental crisis is showing signs of easing. CoreLogic's most recent quarterly rental review found national vacancy rates had eased slightly over the quarter, from 1.1% in March to 1.2% in June, but were still well below the pre-pandemic decade average of 3.3%. The median rent across the country is now $589 per week, up 9.7% year on year, and $617 per week for the capital cities, up 11.5%. Sydney remains the most expensive capital, with renters paying an average of $733 per week. Adelaide is the most affordable capital at $549 per week, followed by Melbourne at $551 per week. So there we go, everyone. Let's have a bit of a chat about these ones. So what do you reckon? The big three they said here. Not having enough space in your property is I wouldn't argue that's a hazard. I'd say that's inconvenient and it's frustrating. There's a reason why we're building a much larger house, because we need the space. We're squeezing us all into a tiny property now to make do. But sometimes you just got to make compromises. I wouldn't argue that's a hazard. I'd say that's just a sign of the market, honestly. Not enough properties out there available for rent. So no, that doesn't pass. That's like a first world problem. If you want more space, you pay more money. Okay, and if you can't afford it, then you don't get more space. That's how it works. Air conditioning, I've mentioned this many times before, and I cop it in the comments all the time. Probably from all of you living north of... I live in Brisbane, guys. It's subtropical. You need air conditioning for a couple of weeks, maybe a year, tops. And, just work in shorts, okay? Contrary to popular belief, I do actually wear pants when I record videos. But, I could take shoes off and socks off and I'd be fine. There was a period when I was wearing suits to really jazz up the channel and it just got too hot. I'd need air conditioning for that. But, in a workplace where there's dress codes and then there's air conditioning to accompany that. But in a house where there isn't, yeah, I would argue that's a luxury. I wonder if I'm in the minority there. What about a laundry? Now, what is a laundry? Just a tap where you can put a washing machine. Usually, often in Queensland, it's under a house where it can overflow with a tub there. So the problem, I suspect it's just older houses that don't have the same modern conveniences that people are used to dealing with. That's the reality of it. And sure, again, that's a luxury. You can make do. You can find a way if you need to. If you want a house with a laundry, you're going to have to pay more. But maybe you got to think about if you're voting for all this not in my backyard stuff. Stop it. You don't like developers. Well, this is what happens when you hamper development. But yeah, people don't understand that, do they? It's just all the evil landlords, which are probably your bloody neighbours or friends or mum and dad Australians. Here's the thing. What do we want? What type of country do we want? Do we want a country where it's all big bloody corporations, the union super funds, and, the EFTs and BlackRocks and all these organizations? And, like in America, they've got big organizations that just buy entire suburbs. Then imagine if you've got a problem with the homeowners association. It's like a body corporate with someone who you'll never talk to, never have anything to do with. Or do you want mum and dads actually owning and building their family wealth through property? What would you rather? Sadly, I think some Australians want, big government control, big corporation control. That's the feeling where it's going. We're all going to lose then. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Thank you all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan, check out HiserBim or Heiser Does. And I promise I will put more content on there eventually. I've got to do it. I'll add it to my list. the constantly growing list. You can support the channel on YouTube or Patreon using our referral links, buying our merch, or calling me if you need an architect. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.